Hello everybody, Scorpio SR here. Welcome to another review, this time for the Jurassic World Dino Rivals Velociraptor Delta and Concavenator review. Yes, we're going to combine these two reviews into one. So to start off with the packaging, let's just take a look. Mattel is going with a very simple design here. A lot of nice oranges and yellows being used, as well as the main Jurassic Park, Jurassic World T-Rex bone skeleton logo. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You got some images here on the front of Rexy, of course, as well as the Triceratops, and of course Chris Pratt's Owen. And you get that on both of them. They're at Walmart. And Velociraptor Delta was pretty much only, what was it, like $7? And the Concavenator was about $15. So here we have just, a static figure. Let's take a look at the packaging. You got nice promotional shots of some of the other figures in the line. And that's pretty much it for Delta. On the back of the Concavenator, you get some cool action poses and basically the gimmicks of what this figure can do, as well as the Triceratops and Parasaurolophus. That's also on the line. Alright, so now that we got this done out of the way, let's go take a look at the figures themselves and get them out of their packaging. Alright, now that we got them both out of their packaging, let's take a look at what they include. In the box for the Concavenator, do note, try not to rip it up, there is a collectible card in there for the Dino Rivals line. You do not want to mess this up. This is taped in there as well. So just be careful when you remove the tape that you don't damage the card. It's going to happen if you're not careful. And yeah, Delta also comes with her own card. As you can see, they both have their own stats. Let's take a look at some of the artwork in there. So look at Delta's card. 7, 9, 10, 9. I have no idea what these stats are for. I'm not sure if it's exactly like a little game they have going on for this line. I'm not too interested in all that. But for those of you who are interested, just take a look at the stats here for the Concavenator as well. Nice looking artwork on the cards. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the cards. Nice little collectibles. Now here we have two very nice looking dinosaurs. As for me personally, collecting from the Mattel Jurassic World line, I've kind of calmed down a bit. At first I was just all about these toys, but overall, I collect so much these days. I kind of have to pick and choose wisely. Let's take a look first at Delta. So overall, if you're familiar with this line, you've seen one sculpt or two sculpts of the Velociraptors, you kind of know what you're getting. That's pretty much, you've seen one, you've seen them all. The only difference here being that the paint apps are a lot different. And I can't recall what Delta's color scheme was in the movie, but I'm pretty sure this is close to accurate. And if it's not, do correct me in the comments below. I honestly don't remember. I do remember, I think it was Charlie, the one that was kind of yellow, but I don't think Delta was this shade of olive. I don't know, it's a very interesting shade of greenish yellow. With the very nice pattern though, on the back all the way to the front of the snout on Delta. The paint on the eyes is applied a little haphazardly, but kind of bleeds off the eyelid a little bit, but it's serviceable. It is what it is. It's a $7 figure, so I'm not expecting the world out of this. Just take a look at her face. Delta's looking pretty snazzy. Open the mouth. You get some pretty nice details there. You take a look at her tongue. There seems to be an issue there with the sculpt and some of the paint. Not that big of a deal. The innards of the mouth, the teeth are nicely applied for the most part. And yeah, Delta's looking pretty decent on the face. Not too bad. As you move down to the back of Delta, you get to see some of that really nice paint details they did there. Overall, looking pretty good. And yeah, they didn't, of course, as per usual with this line, they skimped out on painting the claws, even for the feet, which is a little surprising to me. But you know what? it is what it is. They kind of just rush these out the door, I think. And they don't bother painting the toes. I really don't know why they don't paint the claws. And for those of you who are interested, here's the QR code, I guess, for the Dino Rivals line. For anybody who's interested in using it, feel free. Just pause the video. And on this bottom here of the foot, you get the Jurassic World T-Rex logo, Jurassic Park logo. And I do love the plastic that they use, once again, with little speckles of white in the plastic that they use to kind of add some depth to the color. It's hard to see on camera, you have to really see it in person, but you can see it there. Look at that. Oh, I love it when they do that with their figures. But overall, the sculpt here has a little bit of issues. This could just be my figure, but it is what it is. It's a $7 figure, so like I said before, I'm not expecting the world, but for those of you who are looking for another raptor to add to your collection, you can't go wrong with Delta, honestly. She looks great. And in terms of articulation, Delta, once again, very simple figure. Mouth opens and closes. The arm can rotate a full 360. Since it's a soft plastic, you can easily get around the sculpt, preventing you from doing that. And the legs can also rotate 360. So, yeah, pretty simple for articulation. The tail does not articulate, unfortunately. It's kind of glue sealed in there. You can try to break it and see what happens. I'm not going to do that. Alright, moving on to this big girl. Check this out, the Concavenator. And this dinosaur has a very interesting cameo in the movie of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. You can see it in the museum of the Lockwood Estate in the background of one of the exhibits. So the fact they made a toy out of it is pretty freaking cool. So let's take a look here at the gimmick first of all. The mouth. There's a button here on the back. Right there for the mouth. I am the Concavenator. I'll be back. Yeah, okay, I bet everybody made that joke. And this hump here on the back of the Concavenator is actually going to control the tail motion. So, get the idea? Yeah, it's a very simple gimmick. It gets the job done. And it's not too obtrusive where it kind of looks stupid on the sculpt. Yeah, that's the Concavenator in a nutshell. In terms of other articulation, you really don't get much aside from the arms, which can move out a little bit. You can rotate them 360. As for the legs, a little stiff because they kind of lock in place in the pose you need to get her in, but they can rotate 360 as long as you just move the arms out of the way. So that's all right. That's pretty cool. Nothing really to write home about there, and the legs can also do a little bit of a spread. I'm not sure exactly why you would want to do that, but it's there for you. And in terms of the sculpt, Mattel absolutely nails the sculpt. It looks gorgeous. This figure is absolutely amazing looking, and I just had to have it. It's another cool carnivore in the line, and I just needed it. So take a look at the mouth. You see the tongue is painted pink. It looks all right. There's a little bit of a mess up here at the tip of the tongue where the yellow paint's kind of bleeding off. It's kind of a mustard paint they used for the underside of the neck and the bottom jaw. It doesn't look too bad actually, and the teeth are nicely painted. The main body of the figure is kind of like a dark forest green, and you get this really cool paint app around the eyes. This really nice bloodish red around the eyes that just adds so much character to the figure. Really nicely done. I love the detail they did with the sculpt here on the head and this crest here. Everything looks pretty cool. Take a look at the other side. Oops, there goes Delta. And yeah, the Concavenator looks a little more excited on this side for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why, but this one looks a little more intimidating. This one looks a little more happy. The underbite is, it's there, but like I said, the mouth is meant to open and close, and it's a kid's toy for crying out loud. Who cares? Moving down to the body, the arms, nicely done, but of course, they skipped out on the paint for the fingers on the claws. Not a big deal, really. Moving down the body, you get that dark forest green, as well as that reddish paint on the back of the Concavenator. Such an interesting dinosaur. I would have loved this as a kid. I mean, I love this guy now. Look at this. And moving down the tail, you get some more of that yellow mustard paint all the way down to the very tip of the tail. So that looks really cool overall. And on the bottom of the feet, once again, you get the Jurassic Park T-Rex logo on one foot and the QR code on the other. So if you guys are interested in using that code, feel free to pause the video and take the screenshot now. But overall, the Concavenator, looking pretty cool. I think it's a great addition to the Mattel line, and it looks badass. Alright, quick size comparisons of course. Here we have the SH Figure Arts Ultraman Blue and the Night Rogue from Kamen Rider. Here we have the Hasbro Black Series, Hoth, Bespin, Han Solo, as well as the Bespin Escape Princess Leia Target exclusive, and of course in the background, the NECA Broken Tusk Predator. Overall, pretty decent scale. Alright, now while I tend to cover a higher grade of figure on this channel, it's fun to take a moment and do something a little bit simpler. And Mattel's line of Jurassic World toys continues to offer kids a fun rendition of dinosaurs from the movie to play with that I would have loved alongside my Kenner figures of the time. While collectors with a more expensive taste may yearn for something more, those looking to just have a simpler representation of their favorite movie dinosaurs cannot go wrong here. And from what I've seen so far, the Dino Rivals line will remain strong for the foreseeable future. Now, when can we expect that Indominus Rex, Mattel? Anyways, thanks again for taking the time to watch, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this review and found it helpful. If you did, hit that like button and maybe subscribe. Also, don't forget the bell icon so you're up to date with future uploads, and follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you all soon.